complete build of the auxiliary percussion cart. Plan for this cart is to use it for concert stuff, but the wheels are probably big enough to me to be able to use for marching applications as well. Certainly can put bigger wheels on it, considering it's adjustable, which is the beauty of it. You lower it a couple inches and add the bigger wheels if you wanted to. So started making carts a while back. Really, honestly, just got tired of them falling apart. A lot of the carts that you buy from the commercial guys are made out of pot metal and a composite metal that is brittle and breaks, and they've got almost too many bells and whistles to where all of these moving parts break or you're losing screws. When I was marching in drum corps, I got tired of that and ended up having to duct tape a lot of stuff together and do things to get us through the tour. So I ended up, later down the road buying a welder and started making our carts. And I've made everything: bass drum carts, marimba carts, and I'm going to make 10 of these carts that you see in this video and sell those. But hopefully the intent of the video is for band programs and band parents to see that and be able to build their own carts. So from the side view here, the materials I used was 1.5 by 1.5, 1/8 gauge angle iron. The square tubing, most of the square tubing is 1.5 by 1.5 and 14 gauge. And then the smaller square tubing I use, which will you can insert into the 1.5 tubing, is 1.25 by 1.25, also 14 gauge. From the top down, the side of the table is 24 inches deep. The post coming down underneath the table that goes into the bottom support bar is 1.25 inches, but that's 16 inches long. The piece that it goes into underneath that is 16 inches as well, and that's 1.5 inches material. And then the base on the bottom horizontal bar is 28 inches, which is the 1.5 inch material. Now I did offset the cart a little bit, so with a little bit more weight on the back, when you put a bunch of auxiliary gear on it, it won't tip. So you can see how it's kind of pushed forward a little bit. From the front view, the crossbar across the top where you put all your toys, that's 64 inches. That's the 1.5 inch material. And you can buy the pearl clamps, which fit onto field frames. They're standard, that go onto that 1.5 inch material. The two pieces holding up that bar on the side, they're just 6 inches of the 1.25 inch material, just to get it up a little bit. And then the front of the table is 48 inches across. So your table is 2 by 4 feet, basically. And then the support bar on the very bottom is 45 inches, and that's the 1.25 inch material. And I just used that because I had extra. You could use 1.5 inch material for that. I cut into the base and made enough space where I could drill through there and put that bolt for the wheel. I like these wheels better because you don't have to weld a piece of flat by 4-inch flat bar on the bottom of it and then drill 4 holes through that for a caster. Although the Granger company makes a really neat clamp that you can buy. On one of my other videos, I'll show you that, where it's just one bolt that comes out, and you can put the 4-inch caster bases into that. And they're really, really nice, and it makes it easy for welding. So that's the dimensions of the cart, the size of the material that I use for the cart. I used I went to Lowe's and I bought the Playroom foam. It's kids can play on it, or you can use it for yoga or whatever. And I just cut that to fit inside. It works pretty good, but I think for the next carts I build, I'm just going to use a padded carpet or something like that to go in there. It was a little bit wonky to get it to fit inside of there. Now I'm going to do another build of this cart, and I'm going to add a shelf underneath for storing the percussion equipment that aren't being played. Probably attach a few things on it where you can hold mallets and hold sticks like you would on the front of a marimba as well. But that's the finished cart again from the front view. And then I've got a video coming up, and that's the little clamp. There's a video that I made. My very first video on my YouTube page shows how to make that clamp for the receiver, and man, it works phenomenal. It is strong. You can use a drumstick to put in there to adjust it. Now the hope is you're not going to be adjusting this cart every time you look at it. You're going to adjust the cart, for that performance, or adjust the cart for that year, or however tall the performers are as well. But actually it drops down low enough to where you can roll it onto a charter bus, and you can put a little drumstick through the eye bolt there, and works great. So again, you can see the cart finish with the bongos. You can put a set of cymbals on there, plenty of space for your auxiliary percussion, and then you can clamp suspenders. And I created that bar to be wider than the cart, so the player to the left or the player to the right can utilize parts on there. So anyhow, I hope this video was helpful to you. Forward it to your band friends, forward it to people who are into welding, forward it to percussionists, and they can use these ideas and use these diagrams to build more carts. And I'm going to post more carts on here to help you out. I'm going to make some more cards. If you've got questions about the build, feel free to add a message to this, or shoot me an email as well. So hopefully it was helpful. Everybody's doing well, and I'm going to keep making cards and keep adding these videos on here. Have a great one.